Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too. Hello and welcome back to A Lucky Life. Happy 2026, everyone. I'm so excited to be having another year with the podcast, and I can't believe I'm in a real studio this time. This is so cool and awesome. And I can't believe I've never done this before. I'm really feeling more motivated. There's so many goals that I have for the podcast this year. And hopefully I can bring on some cool guests for you guys and do a couple solo episodes here and there like this one. So this episode, we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions and some of my goals that I have going into this year and some of my honest takeaways of what I've struggled with this past year and what I want to let go of and leave in 2025 and what I want to create more and sustain in 2026. So this past year was a lot of change. I moved to Florida. I applied to grad school, got into grad school, started grad school, and I again am still juggling my job in the city, New York, and I'm flying back and forth all the time from Florida and New York to make it all happen. And I am so grateful. And I really want to practice more gratitude this upcoming year. I'm so grateful for all of the amazing things that all of those things allow me to do. But I want to take advantage more of my life, and I want to build more and create more. And again, find the balance between discipline and grace. That is something that I struggle with. And this year, being able to ask for help when I need it, to allow my goals and my dreams to become reality, because sometimes I think I have all these things that I want to take on. And I want to find the balance between giving myself grace if I don't accomplish all of them in the way that I think I should, but also pushing myself. So the balance between discipline and grace, that's a big thing that I'm trying to accomplish this year. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking to show up for myself. I'm looking to be the next level of myself, be the next level version. And that doesn't come with overnight change, but it does come with like change in small habits and growing those with consistency and love. So keep taking steps forward and keep taking bigger steps forward. And I'm being honest with myself about the fact that the steps that I have taken haven't been big enough for me yet. And I really want this year to be bigger steps and not let fear take over and stop me from taking those big steps. So yeah, that's one of my big goals this year. I also want to talk about some of my rituals that helped me create my New Year's resolutions. Instead of just making a big list of all these New Year's resolutions, I have been better at breaking them down and working them into quarterly goals and actionable goals instead of just saying, I want to eat healthier. What does that look like? And how will a given day look like? Where will I give myself grace? And what goals can I maybe cut out? I have this huge laundry list of goals. It's important not to just have a million goals and to narrow it down. So I'm going to read to you some of my New Year's resolutions and my laundry list of goals that I then am going to use to pick out the main ones that I care the most about. And then I am going to break them into quarters and quantifiable goals so that I can actually know what they will look like and take action instead of just letting it be another New Year's resolution list that gets, saved or thrown in the garbage and never really thought about again. I really want to make these changes happen, and let's make it easier for me to do that. Let's break it down. Let's pick the most important ones and think about why they're the most important ones. So I'm going to read you my list. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to share with you my laundry list, and then we'll go from there. So, my first goal for the new year is to teach yoga locally. Ever since I moved to Florida, I have not been teaching yoga. I've been taking lots of amazing classes and learning the studios that I love, but I haven't taught. And I feel I have been scared and allowed my fear of not being good enough um, show up and take over instead of pushing past it and pushing through the discomfort of, you know what, I might be a little rusty, I might not be perfect, but I have something to offer and I want to bring that to the community and I want to bring that gift to myself to teach. So I have to get over a little bit of imposter syndrome there and acknowledge that I can be a work in progress and still teach and lead others. So that is one of my goals. So I'm giving myself to inquire to a couple studios this quarter. By the end of the quarter, I would like to be teaching yoga locally. Another one is journal more often. I really want to journal more. I think it is such a good way for me personally. It's such a good tool for me to use to get my feelings out and process things and understand where I'm at with things and get clarity. I think I move too fast in life, and this is a really good way for me to slow down and connect with myself and not let the noise, the background noise in my head just take over. So that's a big one for me. Journal more. Hard to quantify. There's so many things I want to do daily. There's so many things I wish I could just snap my fingers and do every single day and be really good at it, do it for a reasonable amount of time. That's not realistic. So we want our goal list to be a perfect combo of realistic and aspirational and giving ourselves the life that we want. So to find a better balance with that, I don't know what a good goal for journaling would be. I really would like to start by trying to incorporate a little ritual every morning. I want to get up an hour earlier. I want to meditate. I want to journal and I want to read. I want those three things to be non-negotiable priority because when I do that, I feel so much better in my life. I feel so much better. It really fills my cup and takes away this like cloud of anxiety, even just the slightest bit. So that is a big goal of mine. It doesn't have to be every day. I can give myself grace, but the goal, at least while I'm home, whatever I decide to quantify that as, the next goal I have is to eat healthier. This one is a good goal because I have too much ramen and I have too much junk food and I definitely like give into cravings too much. And I graze a lot. I would like to do just better at that, but it's not like the most important goal that I have. It's not the battle that I'm choosing to be my number one. I just want to get a little better at that this year. I also want to do more tapping meditations. I feel like that's a really good way to get into my body more because I get stuck in my head and I feel like I have all the answers figured out, but I can't actually like process things into my body. So that's another goal that I have, but using tapping as one of my tools for that because I always do feel better in my body when I'm pairing affirmations, the mental stuff, with something physical and getting it into my body and like communicating mind to body together. So that's something I would like to do better at. I would also like to purge my closet and donate a bunch of clothes at least once a quarter. I want to make a lot more content, a lot more authentic content that speaks to who I really am and more of my whole person and what I want to show up for or who I want to show up as in the world. That's really important to me to start working on and also knowing that it's okay to lose followers and even good because that means they're not the people that I want to reach anyway. So that's something big that I want to focus on this year, creating more content and feeling aligned in that content and building an audience that is more aligned with me and who I am. I really want that to be my theme of content for 2026. I am going to show up as me, imperfect, perfect, whatever whatever I am and I want to share, and that feels right, and that feels like I'm serving and I'm being me. That's what I want to show up in 2026 online as. So it's going to be hard. There's a lot of fears there that I also have to overcome, and I feel that have been an albatross on my neck for years. But this year, that's going to change. Even if it doesn't look exactly like I have in my head right now, it's going to change and it's going to be better. So I'm excited for that. I also got a treadmill walking pad to put under my standing desk, which I love. And I want that to help me with my steps. I also think it will help me with productivity. I'm already obsessed with it. I feel like it's so good for my ADD to walk while I'm working and doing other things. Like it's honestly, it's a great tool for me. So I want to use that to move. I also want to use that to help me be productive in other areas and ways. I want to read 24 to 30 books. I want to take another little solo trip, which this year I just got back a couple weeks ago from a trip to Costa Rica. It was a silent retreat. So 5 days in the jungle with no talking. I would say it was more like 4 days, but it was one of the best things I did for myself this year, hands down. And even if it's not silent, which I would do another one again, I want to make little solo times, trips, whether it's a trip, whether it's a date, whether it's just like true intentional solo time. I want to make that a priority every year of my life. But a solo trip, if I can swing it, would be awesome. I learned a lot from that trip, and that's a lot of those lessons I want to take into 2026. One of the main ones, because it was silent, was words are spells. And we're so flippant with our words. We use them when we really don't need them. And this retreat was with a bunch of other people, but we all left saying we still felt really connected, even though we couldn't speak to one another. And it just goes to show how much connection is possible without all the words. Oftentimes words confuse and they complicate things. And it's important to be intentional with them because we manifest. They are spells. We manifest with what we say. So it's important to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and speak the beliefs that you want to believe instead of being negative or talking about situations in your life that are hurting you or serving you in a way that continues the problem. So that's a big thing that I want to get better at. I want to be more intentional with my words. While I was on this trip, I read the book, The Four Agreements, and it was the perfect pairing. I know that the universe had its hand in giving me that book to read during that time. I've had it on my shelf for years. I did a podcast episode with Jamie who said that I should read it, and it was just like a perfect storm, perfect timing. So I read that, and the first agreement was to be impeccable with your word, which really went perfectly with this trip. So that's something I really want to get better at. Also, I took the trip because I really needed to connect to myself. I really needed to quiet the noise and be more intentional with that solo time and really discover who I was again with all of the voices and all the external influences that I had in my life and I have in my life and all the chaos. It's so easy to get lost in that and lose your sense of direction. I felt like I had a little bit lost my sense of direction. So I wanted to reconnect with my soul and who I was showing up as so that I could make sure that I was moving in the right direction. I really want to be able to trust my ability to make decisions and make decisions that are hard and stick to them if I need to and be able to trust that I can do that. I think that's a huge piece of life that I'm working on. So yeah, I want to make connecting with myself a priority. I want to make trusting myself a priority, and I want to do that in lots of ways, whether it's taking a solo trip or just having some meditation time and doing my little morning ritual and quieting the noise when I need to. That's one of my goals. So moving on, I would also like to save more money. I would like to I live by the ocean. I want to go to the ocean a lot more and have it be intentional and meditative time. I want to make more podcast episodes, which I spoke already on. I want to practice more gratitude. I have a little gratitude journal that I use most days, but I want to get even more consistent with that. And I want to be more intentional with that as well. I'm going to need to get a car this year. I want to exercise 3 to 4 times a week, whatever that looks like, yoga, Pilates, gym, walks, etc. I want to drink more water. I want to have really good practice to take care of my body, my skin, my hair. I want to try somatic therapy. That is something that, again, I'm so in my head. So I want to like drop into my body more. And that's something that I've heard is really good for that. Again, solo dates 1 to 3 times a month. So if I can't do a trip, that will be great. And I like spending time by myself when it's intentional. That really, really fills my cup. I want to adopt a cat or multiple cats because I'm ready. And that's something I need in my life. I also want to do more aerial yoga. I tried a class recently by me and it was amazing. The deepest stretch I've ever felt. And I can't wait to do more of that. And again, give my body that gift as well. I also want to drink less alcohol. I'm doing damp January. Yeah, just drink less. I'm not someone who like struggles with alcohol that much. I do use it as a social tool. And I also like, I can easily, like when I'm drinking, I just keep drinking and I'm not very good with boundaries and limits. So that's something I want to get better at, but it's not something I see myself ever like entirely cutting out. But again, if that's what you need to do and that's what you want to do, good for you. That's amazing. I think that's great. I also, if you think you don't have a problem with it and you can handle it in moderation, then by all means do whatever works for you. So I'm not here to prescribe what's best for you. I'm telling you what is best for me. I know, Rich coming from Beer Girl, ha ha ha. Talking about not over consuming, but I'm working on it. Okay. I don't have a problem with it because I don't think I abuse it, but I do I like to have fun and I like to, test the limits. I don't know. Yeah. So just drinking less alcohol, whatever that looks like. That's my goal. Now, I also want to make 2 new recipes a month and get better at meal prepping, sometimes lunch, because I hate making myself lunch. So those are my goals. Now, I've highlighted a few that are more important to me. So teaching yoga, that's something I highlighted. Journaling and meditating is something I highlighted. Authentic social media content and being more consistent with it. Reading more and connecting with myself more. Those are my main goals for this year. And I have quantified and taken some steps to break that down a little bit. So my Q1, I have quantified it in my Q1 goals as well as January, February, March goals. So to give you an idea, I teach yoga locally by the end of Q1. I would like to post 9 to 12 times by March end on my Instagram, more authentic content. I would like to walk on the treadmill a few times a week, read 2 books a month, and connect with myself 1 to 3 times a month. So those are my goals, more quantified. I also, of course, made a vision board for the new year as I do. And I asked ChatGPT to give me some questions and some prompts to help me think about what these goals would look like before I wrote them, as well as really connect with myself and who I want to be instead of all these this laundry list of goals. Who do I want to be this year? Who do I want to show up as, and why? And I did a visualization of next year at the end of 2026. What do I want to have been grateful for? What am I proud of that I've done this year? And really like sit and think about that. And it was easier for me to then come up with these goals and then quantify these goals. So I highly recommend you do one or all of these things to help set yourself up for giving yourself the year that you deserve and that you want. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to look exactly as you have in your head. It never does, but that's okay. And it's going to be great. We're going to have a great 2026. I'm really excited to let you guys in on more and be vulnerable. And I want to hear what you're working on and what you need advice on. And anything that you want to share with me, my comments and DMs are open. I wish you the best of luck for your 2026. We're going to have an amazing year. I'm going to do more podcast episodes. So please share with me what you are working on, what you want advice on, and just anything that you would like to hear me talk about. I'm really grateful to have this podcast and to have you guys who are there and who are listening. And I want to do right by you and I want to do right by me. So please let me know what it is that you want to hear. And thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next time. Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too.